now to end the season, but still have to be pretty proud of what you guys accomplished this year with such a young team.
Yeah, I think this is just a start for this team. I think that years to come, Indiana's a special place, a special program. We have coaches, players that understand what it takes to win. And that's the main takeaway that we're going to come away with today, is that we understand what it takes to win. And today, this wasn't our day. But it hurts. It's going to hurt for years to come. But we're going to grow from it. I can guarantee you that.
It looks like you kind of struggled offensively today. What did Santa Barbara kind of do to kind of throw you guys off a little bit, not allow you guys to get as many chances as you're accustomed to?
Yeah, I mean, they did a good job at the very beginning of just pressing us pretty quick, but just the wind played a huge factor today. So whichever side you were, you could kind of see people were tending to play long balls and everything. So second balls were kind of key today, that whoever could get on the end of those kind of held possession. And I think we kind of grew into the first half, and then from then on we kind of understood what we had to do, just dealing with the elements.
Going into the second overtime, fellas, and either one can answer the question. What was the strategy going into that second OT?
Well, it was really a game of two halves. And so the weather, of course, played a little bit of an impact on how we could play. We felt that whenever we were going into the wind, it was going to be very difficult to play our style of soccer. And we were going to get into the second line where 8s and 10s are normally, strikers normally play for the knockdown. And then we were able to break them quite a bit. In going into the second one, we were going to try and play, and it ended up biting us in the butt. But that was something that, as a full team, we decided we were going to do and live and die with what the team does.
As two captains and two guys that were on that back end of last year's loss to Maryland, what do you say to some of the younger guys, that haven't had to deal with, the end of the season at the college level yet?
I don't think you say anything. I mean, everyone, you're going to take it in your own way for a day or two and just let everyone grieve their own way. There's not much you can say at this point, but I think in a week we'll get the team together and everything, and it's just how you respond about it. That we were able to, off a round of 16 loss my freshman year, went to 2 college cups, so it's how you respond to it and bounce back and learn from the situations.
The offensive struggles were mentioned, but what about in the mid? It seemed like you guys weren't winning the second balls as much as you said in the mid. What was up with the mid today?
I still feel like today they really did play well. I think Joe and Aiden were our rocks throughout the whole entire season. It's very difficult to judge where the second ball is going to land. I think that's one of the toughest things. That's something that Danny O'Rourke was so good at, understanding where the ball was most likely to land. I feel like, especially in the conditions, whether it's off a head, off a foot, off a thigh, something like that, it is very difficult to judge where the second balls will land. I think that another advantage for them is they just had more numbers in there. They had wingers that played inside and were able to create numerical advantages for second balls and probability of them winning them.
You guys have a brand new, beautiful field, but ironically, it was the field that got you today with the slip there. Can you guys kind of talk about it? Because if that play doesn't happen, chances are we're probably looking at penalty kicks as much as you guys battled defensively.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's much to say on it, just those things happen sometimes. Could have put some chances away earlier in the game and not gotten to that point, but unfortunately that's how the game ended.
I guess to that point, I mean, did it feel like the longer this game went, it was going to come down to like a slip or something, or obviously just the fate of penalty kicks?
I mean, I think with this weather, you definitely, kind of how the Michigan game was for us in the final, it's just both teams are pretty tired. You can see it. Big balls are going, especially with the wind. So, I mean, you can kind of feel that penalty kicks could be coming, but you're definitely, with the wind, I think all of us were expecting to at least get a few more chances in that last 10 minutes.
How much did you miss Daniel Muni and not being on the back line today?
He's great, but we have all the confidence that Klein can step in and do the job. I mean, for 100+ minutes, he did extremely well. I think that one slip can't really define a full performance. I think I have always had all the confidence in Klein. I think that he's an incredible player. What his time is, like what he meant in his time here at Indiana, is one that we will remember for a really long time, especially the freshman. The way he carried himself and who he is as a person. He really cares about the program.
Any more? All right, thanks, guys.